Part 11. Gods of the Mountain Ranges. Discourse 11 of 20. Beloved God of the Swiss Alps. Beloved ones of the land of freedom. Beloved ones of the heart of the world. Beloved ones of the fiery heart of the beloved mighty I Am presence. Tonight in the outpouring, which is coming forth from the heights of perfection inconceivable to the human intellect, there is constantly approaching, constantly surging, constantly expanding one activity after another of the sacred fire whose presence must come into outer physical conditions and compel mankind to awaken from the shadows of their own creation and to compel individuals to face the light of cosmic Christ control of all in this system of worlds. As the cosmic light passes through the entire system, as the sacred fire increases all activity of life within the system, I assure you, human creation must be forced to be annihilated. The onrushing sacred fire in cosmic action is compelling certain changes to be brought about in the structure of Earth itself, and in the structure of the mental and feeling world of the masses of the people everywhere. So, every time evil seems to be on the increase, the expansion of the sacred fire and cosmic light are on the increase also. And since they are an eternal action of the perfection of life, then the hour strikes when their increasing momentum swallows up that which has been of human darkness and that which has caused such distress to life. In the conditions of the outer world, which are seeking to torture life again, certain things are converging to a bursting point, and if, with your calls and our release of the sacred fire, we can combine the concentration of the sacred fire rapidly enough in and around that which is constructive, much that was intended of frightful destruction not only will be prevented, but in certain channels it will be removed rapidly enough for the cosmic Christ to take control, where before it seemed not to be handling situations at the present time. Know this always. Whenever there is an effort to stand to God and call forth the God help to the masses of the people of the world, that call has to be answered, regardless of all karmic accumulation. I bring you that reminder tonight, that you may understand that when distressing conditions reach a certain intensity, the very desire in the people to be free from those conditions forces the attention to be held upon the great God presence of life with determination to have God's help to release individuals from their own frightful creation. So, when sometimes the outer world conditions appear to be so frightful from the outer standpoint, yet from the inner activity of life, it is compelling the desire within individuals to reach up and desire God, desire God's help, and with fierce determination, desire the release of that which masters the evil forces of this world. And when that reaches a certain momentum, I assure you, those forces will be compelled to be bound within their own cause until their evil annihilates itself by its own explosion. When you force destructive conditions back into their own center, the very intensity of the pressure causes the explosion that shatters and annihilates their evil, because it generates a certain electronic pressure of that electronic force, which is the energy by which those destructive conditions act. And as that pressure is increased, it forces the consuming of the evil. While I know sometimes evil seems a long time consuming itself, yet in the end it has to fail and be consumed. So, in your use of these various activities of the sacred fire when distressing conditions come to your attention in the outer world, try to always hold the picture of the cosmic focus of these activities of the sacred fire going forth instantly into the condition. And you hold the picture of the destructive conditions completely annihilated and a sun presence of the sacred fire take its place. it is to gather the power from all of you together by doing this, that we watch constantly for its combined action, that we may lift a certain amount of your energy into these activities of the sacred fire and project them where they will protect that which is of God. Now the gods of the mountains have plenty of power of the sacred fire and the electronic force of eternal purity, I assure you. But mankind has generated such destruction by selfishness and defiance and rebellion against the law of perfection down through the ages, that there has to come a certain release of a certain amount of energy through the desire of individuals for God assistance in these outer world conditions, that we have to wait until that momentum reaches a certain point. Otherwise, my dear ones, we would long ago have flashed the sacred fire necessary into mankind to take out of them their destructive impulses. But the cosmic law does not permit us to remove their penalty when there is no desire within to stop their evil. Otherwise, we would never permit such frightful conditions to go on in the outer world activities. When we let certain forces spend their pressure of destruction, it is because we may remove by that all of their accumulation in one stroke. Cosmic law makes no mistakes, I assure you. The sacred fire cannot produce anything but invincible perfection, and therefore, as you hold closer and closer into these activities, and you command them to go forth and consume mankind's evil, that is like a light coming through you, expanding and reaching into the mental and feeling world of the rest of mankind. That awakens constructive desires within the masses of the people, and as that desire awakens, it becomes a light within individuals that reaches up to God as they understand it, and asks for God's help to free life from human creation. So, this cosmic law goes on in its almighty control of individuals everywhere. Now, there are certain life streams whose accumulation of evil has been of very long duration, but each one is being tested out to its final strength. And as the cosmic light increases and the sacred fire expands throughout the world, either those life streams let go of their evil, or they are taken out of the body with the evil until that evil is consumed. And they must do certain things themselves to help consume it because they built it. So, you have everything in the world to be encouraged about in your use of these mighty calls to the heart of creation for the master power of the universe to be set into action in physical conditions, and to force the purification of the world. And thank you forever for that assistance from tonight. You will never know until you are ascended, until we show you what is in the etheric atmosphere of this world. You could not believe unless you saw it, what is released through your decrees. That is why we come constantly to encourage you, to assure you of our presence, to give you our help, to hold protection about you, that you may go on and render your maximum service while there is yet time. So, I am here to express my love and gratitude to you for the releasing into the world, through your calls, of the sacred fire that we can use in the various activities with which our service is concerned. When your release comes to a certain point, when its power reaches a certain expansion, then the cosmic beings who govern the system of worlds blaze into that which you have released, the final amount of cosmic fire to go forth and finish the work of removing from this world the human creation that has caused such frightful distress to life. Keep demanding the forced purification by all the sacred fire necessary to act instantly in and around yourselves. And then wherever you abide, whatever you contact, just keep demanding that the sacred fire compel purification at your command. I want you to have faith in yourselves so great that in the intense feeling of the fulfillment of your calls, the light and the sacred fire can flash instantly into conditions and more quickly remove them both from your activities and the rest of the world. Try to remember, life is the only thing any individual in the universe has with which to do anything good or bad, and therefore you are life. You have the sacred fire of life to use. You have the cosmic power of the sacred fire by your desire, by your attention, by your call. And if you remember that faith is the feeling of light, I say to you, mastery is the use of the sacred fire into everything you contact. Then your world becomes the world of the sacred fire in which only perfection can exist. I shall hold your attention to the acceptance of that until the fullness of its power reveals to you, inside of yourselves, the perfection which is yours by divine right, and the power you have to use the sacred fire to correct everything that is wrong. And I shall keep you reminded until your victory is eternal. I will not hold you longer. I just want to assure you that your constant use of the sacred fire is watched by every one of us, and to every flame for which you call, we add infinitely more to join yours until the mass momentum reaches the point where it overwhelms the hordes of evil, and they are compelled to roll back and be bound by the cosmic law that dissolves them from the universe. Every life stream must be stripped of every destructive impulse, and when those destructive creations are taken away from each life stream and consumed from the universe, then the awakening of the outer self to the authority and power of the sacred fire brings the forward advance on the pathway of light that compels the mighty victory of the I Am Presence to move into outer action and control all. Now we are guarding certain forces in Europe, beloved ones, for the protection of that which is constructive, and the radiation that it is our privilege to draw forth continues to penetrate everything regardless of outer world appearances. And this I can assure you, some, and I mean a great many destructive channels, are not nearly so sure of themselves as they were a few months ago. And as time goes on, they will be less so. Much of their contemplated plans, many of those plans have gone awry. And as your commands to life are sent into the atmosphere of Earth, they will continue to expand until every destructive thing is forced into annihilation. So, while you might seem only a handful of people compared to the masses on the Earth, yet as the sacred fire blazes in, through, and around you, as it goes on in its ever-expanding cosmic pressure and power, it fulfills the great divine plan, and nothing can prevent it. So be of good cheer. Go on with the expansion of the sacred fire, and demand its invincible victory everywhere. Send it forth throughout the world to enfold all who are trying to hold to God, trying to protect the constructive things and ways of life, and send forth that sacred fire that protects and strengthens and helps them to victory. You cannot give that to every life stream on the earth without manifesting it yourselves. It is your easiest, quickest way to freedom is to demand it and give it to every life stream regardless of the appearance world tonight. You are not in embodiment at this time by any chance. You are in the transition period because you have the strength and the power of the light to give assistance, and the greatest help you can give to all life is to continually seal it in great blazing suns of its victorious control of everything. And as that goes on, you will find your own world, the world of that sacred fire, automatically controlling things in you and your world that need controlling. Blessed ones, weary not of well-doing, but go on with the feeling inside of you that you are the master power of the sacred fire's control of everything whenever you call that into outer action. And it shall be so, and it shall be established unto you. But don't fail to use it. You can't use it too much. And if everything you do from hour to hour were charged, first of all, with the sun presence of the sacred fire's control, your mighty I Am presence would have an open pathway to give into your outer use everything you require, and bring it about with a joy that lifts you always to freedom. So, in the use now of the cosmic activities of the sacred fire, send them forth for the purification and freedom of all mankind, and that shall have to come. And automatically it fills you and your world with itself first, and then as it goes to the outer world, it continues to intensify and expand until it finally becomes the onrushing control of all in the outer world. So, go forward to your victory. Live in the continual use of the master power of the sacred fire by which you master everything, and forbid anything in your world that is not the perfection of that sacred fire's almighty control everywhere you abide. And you will find limitless legions of ascended master friends, always ready to assist you in the fulfillment of the great divine plan, which releases all from distress as you move into action with its cosmic authority and power by conscious use. I enfold you in the blazing sun presence of the sacred fire of our love to the mountains of the world, that their enfolding strength and power and radiance may ever bless you with the boundless powers and continual use of that which God, the mighty I Am presence, has placed within the mountain ranges of the world to render this assistance for the freedom of all life. Accept the sun presence of our love to you, that you may expand its almighty control of all things wherever you abide, and all throughout the world. So go forward, my loved ones, to victory. Victory! Victory without limit, by the sacred fire without limit, until everything has become its perfection for eternity. Thank you with all my heart.